coming here today, and not because of standing here and talking in front of you. It was because when I read the dress code, cool summer casual, my anxiety levels went through the roof. I just put clothes on. I don't think about it. You're asking me to think about what I want to wear, or what I should wear, and I don't know what the cool summer casual was. So when I come across obstacles, the first person I turn to is my wife. And yeah, can you help me? What does this mean? I don't know anything about fashion. She knows that. She still dresses me right. She looked at me outfits, and she said, "Look, there's a couple of documentaries that you can watch. If you watch those documentaries, you'll know what cool summer casual is." So I thought, okay, yeah. So I watched the documentary, a famous one. I think you've heard of this one. It's called Love Island. And I learned a few things. One thing I learned was what I could wear, but most important thing was what not to wear. So that really helped me. But I'm here to talk to you about the power of giving people a chance. And we've all had, at some point in our lives, a moment where someone has given us a chance. So just with me, just think about that moment. Think about a moment when somebody truly believed in you and gave you a chance. How amazing did that feel? How did it change your life? Now think about a moment when somebody didn't give you the chance that you desperately needed. How gutted did you feel? Did it break you? Think about a moment when you could have given somebody a chance. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I'm not judging, you've got your reasons. But just think for a second the impact on that person's life. How do you think they felt? You see, we all need chances, all of us. Sometimes second chances, multiple chances, throughout our lives, throughout our careers. But here's the thing, every single one of us in this room, all of us, we have the power to give chances to people. We all have it, whether you know it or you don't. The question is, how often do we exercise that power? We share that gift. And think, if we all did that, what impact we could make on people's lives, on our communities, and on our society. So what I would say is, if you get that rare moment, when somebody gives you that chance, don't squander it, embrace it. Exercise humility and appreciate it. Be grateful for it, because you may not get it again. But whatever you do, do something with it. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my background and how when somebody gave me a chance, the transformative impact it had on my life. So I grew up in Birmingham, in a very deprived area. Gun crime, substance abuse was just right. Gang culture was just prevalent everywhere you looked. And as a young Asian boy growing up, these things have a habit of pulling you in. And sometimes, you could get pulled into something even if you didn't want to. Other times, things could just escalate, go from 0 to 100 in a blink of an eye. And you find yourself in hot water, in danger, in trouble. There was an incident I'll share with you where two guys were arguing, and within a minute, it just erupted into this mass brawl. 25, 30 guys just fighting and hurling things at each other. It's a complete pandemonium. And I'm standing there on the periphery. I'm just watching as this unfolds and trying to just process what's going on. And the guy opposite me was pulled in, and they were laying into him. 7, 8 guys, really viciously attacking him. even with objects, it was brutal, absolutely brutal, to the point where I really believe this person's life is in danger. And I didn't know what to think, right? I mean, what would you do? Do I call the police? But the police wouldn't make it in time. Do I run away? Because, you know, I was afraid, right? I didn't want to be that guy either. So should I just run? Or do I try and help? What can I do in this chaotic scene? In that moment, for some reason, I decided I'm going to try and help. So I lunged forward, pulled the guys off them, pushed other people away, and I managed to stop that onslaught. I looked down at the guy on the floor. He was battered, he was bruised, he was bloody. But I think he's going to be okay. And he was. My decision had a consequence. I was lying in hospital with fractured eye sockets, broken nose, black eyes, swollen jaw, swollen face, fractured fingers. I was battered and bruised and bloody. They hit me with a metal object across my face so hard, the bridge of my nose actually broke off and it was just hanging off my face. Sorry to get a bit gruesome. I just want to share some of those details. And I remember lying in the hospital bed, looking up at the ceiling with this open wound in my face. And I genuinely believe I'm going to be left permanently disfigured. And 17 years old I was. I thought my life was over. I was asking myself the question, why did I get involved? I should have just left it alone. And I thought I was a tough guy, right? I thought I hung around with tough guys. Nobody helped me. And I was alone that evening in hospital. Nobody around me. And I was weeping. I was crying. And then the doctor walked in. And he said to me, "You're very lucky." I looked at him and said, "I don't feel lucky, look at me." And he said to me, "Well, I've seen worse, I've dealt with a lot worse. We'll fix you up. You'll be left with a little scar. But if they hit you a few millimeters to the left, you would have lost your left eye. A few millimeters to the right, you would have lost your right eye. So in my book, you're lucky. In fact, you've been given a chance. Do something. Do something with it." Those words just kept reverberating in my brain and echoing in my head. And I knew that in that moment, I knew I needed to change the environment that I was in and the people that I was hanging around. I needed to change what I was exposing myself to. I needed to change the trajectory of my life. But my mindset was just so closed, so narrow. I needed something to break it open and widen my perspective. So I could see the opportunities that were there for me. And I realized education was the key. So I invested in education. I got my A-levels, I went to uni, I got my degree, I had various jobs. I managed to detach myself from the previous life, so I moved forward. But I didn't really massively change my future. And you know, I really genuinely believed a career within a corporate organization will give me that opportunity. And so I applied to probably 50 plus corporate organizations. And I was rejected, every single one. I didn't know why, they didn't give me any feedback. They just left me with the question, why won't they give me a chance? And it nearly broke me, you know. As I said, sometimes you don't get that chance, get gutted, it brings you down. But I picked myself up, and I was just even more determined. I'm going to invest in education again. So I embarked on an MBA program. And the intent was to build up my business knowledge. And, you know, maybe, just maybe, I prayed it would open up an opportunity with a corporate organization. And it did. GlaxoSmithKline, global pharmaceutical company, they offered me a job. You can imagine how elated I was. I spent 10 years searching for that opportunity, investing in education, not giving up, and I found it. And, you know, this was my opportunity to change my life. I knew it. I wasn't going to let anything or anybody stop me. I was going to throw everything at it. And they saw a spark, and they invested in me. They gave me training, mentoring, coaching. I had some amazing managers. And then I started to excel. I started off as a buyer. Several promotions later, became a senior director looking after IT procurement globally. I was part of the CIO's leadership team, sitting around a table with 10 senior vice presidents. I was negotiating £100 million plus deals with some of the largest organizations in the world. Me, the guy who came from the hood, the reject nobody gave a chance to. That didn't matter to me anymore. I felt incredible. See, what happened was I spent the best part of a decade relentlessly searching for an opportunity, and I found it. Some kind people in GSK, they gave me a chance. I did something with it. And when I reflect back on some of the learnings, there's a couple of principles that I apply, but also looking forward, apply those principles as well. You see, opportunities and chances, they often come in disguise. They mask themselves as obstacles, as challenges, as traumatic events. They come momentarily, and then they disappear. Sometimes they can linger and be hidden in plain sight, right in front of you, waiting patiently to be discovered. But if you have a very closed mindset, if you have a very narrow view of the world, you can search all your life. You'll never find them. Opportunities will pass you by. You'll never see them. They'll be right in front of you. You'll never see them. So we should challenge our thinking at every opportunity we have to broaden our mindset so we can be ready for when those opportunities arrive. I work for Lloyds Bank now. I've been there for just over a year and a half. And 2 weeks into the job, something hit me quite profound. It was unexpected and unintended consequence of me getting the job. I realized I was the first ethnic minority to be part of the procurement leadership team. I'd broken a glass ceiling I didn't even know. And I was the most visual representative for the most underrepresented groups within the department of 350. And they were looking at me to do something. And I felt a sense of duty and obligation and responsibility, and I wanted to do something. You see, when I stepped back, what happened was an opportunity was passing me by. But my eyes are open, and I grabbed it with both hands. And I realized for the first time, I was in a position to create chances for other people, the suppliers. I took control of the I&D program, completely changed it. My focus was making sure the underrepresented groups were represented in senior positions, not just junior positions, in senior positions, and we're making big strides forward. And through taking control of the I&D program, I realized Lloyds didn't have a Supplier Diversity program. And that unleashed a different passion in me, a different energy. I couldn't stand there and do nothing. I had to do something. So So I'm setting up a Supplier Diversity program for Lloyds Bank. And we're going to come across challenges. And there's so much richness in this room that I can learn from. And I will tap into to you all. But the important thing here was, for me, as I started to engage with diverse businesses and business owners, I started to realize that actually many of them came from the same communities or backgrounds that I had. The challenges that I faced, or they had greater challenges. It resonated with me. It made me realize I'm definitely doing the right thing. And also, as I got to know a few people, a few of the business owners, I see some of the immense levels of the amazing qualities that they have, such as resilience, determination, innovation, creativity, dynamism. The list is endless, right? And these are all the qualities that corporate organizations are looking for in businesses and in people. So the obvious question is, why are we doing more business with them? And as part of today's agenda, we're going to obviously look at some of the challenges. We're going to hear some of the barriers that need to be overcome. And hopefully we're going to talk about some of the solutions. But ultimately, we can do more, and we should do more. I want to leave you with two messages. The first one, this is either to diverse businesses or actually to everybody. Be relentless in your search for seeking out opportunities. Challenge your thinking at every step. But be relentless, because it only takes one to change your life. The second message, and this is to all the corporates. The fact that you're here, you all know how important this topic is. And whether you're a buyer or diversity manager, or if you represent the business, remember, you all have the power to give diverse businesses a chance. You have the power to take a chance on diverse businesses. So when you get the opportunity to work with a diverse-owned business, when you get that chance, do something with it. Thank you very much.